brilliant speed with vibrant service, vibrant broadband internet.
Got to make sure I bring up the right microphones now as we are doing a little bit of remote stuff. Good morning, U2, U3.
Yep.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you and who are you? Go ahead.
My name is Nathan.
And I'm Jane.
And
I'm Bo.
there you go. And we have Vibrant You on the air.
Thanks for having us again.
Sure, you bet. Let me turn you up a little louder. There we go. Now you're plenty loud.
All right. Perfect.
You're the one I always have to keep. No, I know what it is. He's got the.
Not too far away.
No, either the cough switch is flipped to the wrong position.
Let's on talk.
Okay, or then the actual microphone has an on-off switch. And that.
There we go.
Oh,
Testing. Oh, wow.
we're live.
I'm here.
This is not Memorex anymore.
Wow.
Mhm. So anyway, we have another Vibrant You program.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
They're looking at each other.
Yeah, because I screwed up. So tonight.
Bo, she admitted to it.
I always own it. I
yeah.
always own it.
Yeah.
It's the best thing ever.
Okay.
So tonight we have a great program. It's a Vibrant You, and we're having cybersecurity.
Yep.
So if you have any questions about artificial intelligence, want to learn a little bit more about cybersecurity, tonight is your night. So come to Meeker Cooperative and Vibrant at 5:30 tonight. And we are going to be, we're kind of co-hosting with Center National Bank, and they're going to be bringing cookies for us. So come early because we're expecting a huge crowd.
Yeah.
We have some numbers to
What time does that start?
5:30.
Okay.
5:30. Anything else you want to add, Nathan?
Well, I was just going to say, I'm not sure. I assume they'll be done for the day, but if you're taking Highway 12, it might be easier to take the little side road that runs kind of by Senex, kind of the back door way to the co-op. So if you could avoid part of 12 at least.
Is that 260?
Yeah, maybe
something like that. Yeah.
So just be aware of that.
There you go.
And then Bo will kick off our topic today, which is about cybersecurity.
All right.
Yeah, we're going to do a little preview of the event tonight. So I'm going to go a little bit into hacker history. Now, I don't think I learned about this in school at all. It's kind of some new information to us. But the first known hacker was named John Draper. That's not Don Draper like Mad Men. This is John Draper, also known as Captain Crunch. So if you don't remember his actual name,
I know.
Yeah,
you'll remember that.
Okay.
Captain Crunch. All right, Woody, do you know why he's called Captain Crunch?
I'm guessing he crunched some files sometime.
Ooh, that's good.
Oh, he probably did, but he's actually named Captain Crunch because in the early 1970s, he discovered a toy whistle in his Captain Crunch cereal box.
Oh, yeah.
And he found that the noise it made actually mimicked the frequency and the tone used by AT&T's phone system, so it allowed him to make free long-distance calls. That is actually... it's one of the first known hackers. So
I didn't even know Captain Crunch was that old, and they were doing treats in boxes in the 70s.
I know. I thought Captain Crunch was like a 90s thing.
Yeah.
No.
We had Captain Crunch back in the 50s, believe me. Yeah.
Good for them.
Wait, did it have the berries in it though?
No.
That was actually probably until the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they had
They ruined it.
Ruined?
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys are crazy.
Where did they get old Captain Crunch talking like that?
Peanut butter and berries, really.
So he was kind of the first crook out there. That's almost worse than when maybe someone that I know got kind of tapped into the neighbor's cable.
Oh,
I've heard of
type
it.
of hacking.
I know a guy.
Yeah,
That's hacking.
That's a pretty popular one.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy actually he was partners with Steve Wozniak, who was one of the co-founders of Apple. So they were kind of into hacking together. That's kind of how they got their start when they were in their younger days. And there's also early hacking at MIT, so the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. So the term hacking was meant to be like a term for a solution to a problem or like a practical joke.
Like a life hack.
They would put like a replica of a campus police car on the top of the school. Now it's become associated with computer programming, technical prowess, basically any way you can maybe hack into a device or find a solution to a problem that has to do with technology.
Yeah, we use it. People say life hack now because they've hacked life in a way to make their lives easier or better, or some sort of tip and trick. So that's kind of how it maybe got started. But in the 80s, it got a little more serious. So it got less playful, less innocent, and more prominent in the 80s when people started hacking computer and technology quite a bit more, and it became serious. And there were some actual groups that went by. You know, there was the Legion of Doom was the name of a hacking group, and also the Masters of Deception. These were like groups of people that hacked together and got more into real crime, hacking into computer systems and stuff like that. And then in 1990, the Secret Service launched Operation Sun Devil, and that was like their first operation to stop hacking. Essentially, okay, this is a serious problem. We need to dedicate manpower and do this Operation Sun Devil, and they basically were hunting the hackers then, which is pretty prominent now. I mean, you hear about that kind of stuff all the time now, but in 1990 it was relatively new, and it was like, you know, technology was becoming more prevalent then. Imagine how much technology we use now and how much this all goes on in the background. But now there's so many government entities dedicated to stopping and denying some of this stuff, but that was new in 1990.
Right. So back in 1988, before Operation Sun Devil happened, there was if you guys, are you familiar with the worm and the bug? You know, the worm that happens
the
on
dance
your
move,
computer.
you mean?
Well, not that. Well, yeah, I'd really like to see that, Nathan. I'd love to see
I've done the
dance
worm
move.
before, but it's
really
been
love
probably
that.
10
Yeah.
years. So.
Yeah.
No, this is an internet
50
worm.
years for me.
Okay.
So basically, it just slows your computer down. And so, in fact, it's still a bug out there today that is still impacting computers. And so, basically, Robert Morris, who was a Cornell University graduate, decided to create the worm in 1988, and it's still going strong now.
Jeez.
Wow.
And then,
that's crazy.
you know, and it's like, why do people do it? You know, so first off, it's all about the money, and it's all about getting the information, social security numbers, credit cards, details, bank accounts, that kind of stuff. And in fact, it was kind of a weird story. So my mother-in-law lives in St. Louis Park, and one of her friends was on the phone with her husband, and a group of kids pulled over and took her phone. And then her husband hung up and called 911 right away. And then she shut her phone off, so then they couldn't get into it, and they were demanding to get the password, to get the code to go in there. And she's just like, I'm not giving you my code. So anyway, if you look at your phone, what does it have in there? Well, typically, if you'll have your credit card in there, you'll have your
A lot of them do.
Personal
my
information.
bank
like
accounts
crazy,
in there.
yeah.
You know, there's just a lot of stuff. So your phone has a lot of important information, and if you have Venmo, that's in there. So she never, they never gave it to her, and then she canceled everything before they got in there.
Yeah,
So
thankfully, cell phones have
now.
a lot of security now. I mean,
Yes.
almost they all want you to have a password and PIN and all that stuff, trying to help protect from some
What
of
does
that.
it mean that these things have firewalls? What's the whole firewall world?
Firewall, I think, is just your first level of security. Usually, on your internet network, your firewall is to lock a lot of this stuff down and block a lot of it. It's not going to catch everything under the sun, but a firewall is your first line of defense, protecting you from the internet source to the devices you're connecting.
Okay.
And it gets pretty technical, even more technical than I would comment on. But that's how it's referred to as firewall is kind of that first line of defense.
Okay.
Yep. So Bo, what do you want to tell us
and-
about? Yep, go ahead.
Well, hackers do a lot of, corporate data, business hacking, just to get everything from, people's personal data from like a database like, Target or Walmart. You've probably seen on the news, big companies like that get hacked all the time. Their personal data from their customers leak. They're also doing it to try to find corporate data, trade secrets, intellectual property. You think of, Apple's launching a new iPhone. People are very interested in what that design looks like, and people can reverse engineer it. So all that information is in companies' databases that are behind firewalls to protect someone from hacking in and getting that information. And then going back to like just the everyday person, we have internet devices like smart TVs, smart home appliances like your smart thermostat, your Roomba, your smart speakers, like all of that are
Your EV, your electric vehicle now. I mean, it's
Oh yeah, everything. And really, it's more and more devices are connected to the internet, and those are susceptible to hacking. So not that it's all that common for those type of devices, but you really don't want someone hacking into your security camera for your home security. That kind of defeats the purpose of it. And you think our phones are in our pockets it's with us all the time. I know you're not supposed to do this, but your note section, people put their passwords, they put their bank account information. It's not behind really anything other than your phone security. So that's why hackers are trying to get into mobile devices, just because they're basically a mirror of our lives. They have all the information that we really don't want out. So we like to put on a class like we're doing tonight, just to show people steps you can take to stay safe, because there's a lot of people out there that are trying to get that information.
Yeah, so go ahead, Jane.
Oh, I was just going to say there's information out on the internet. So if you have a Ring camera, that's really easy hacked. So people can tap into that, and then they can watch when you're coming home, kind of the stalker situation.
What?
So
They can watch.
they can
watch it.
Yep, they can tap into your internet information and then watch the Ring security happen. And same thing with the security cameras. They can do that same information. So it's out there. You got to just pay really close attention to what happens.
Certainly some companies, invest more in security than others, and there's stuff you can do if you have security cameras to put more levels of protection on it. So just because you have a camera doesn't mean anyone can hack it. Certainly, there are some that are better than others. So just do your research. If you're thinking about getting a camera, maybe don't go for the least expensive option out there, because maybe they, don't invest as much in security and stuff like that. So, so what can you do? So, we've all heard of people being, taken advantage of online, or having cybersecurity issues, or having devices be compromised. Well, things that you can do that seem simple enough but make a big, big difference. A couple things is use strong and unique passwords for logins to stuff. This is logins for your Facebook account, for your cell phone, for your banking account. They recommend using a unique password for every account. I know so many people, and I've been guilty of this, use the same password for several accounts.
Everything, yeah.
So all of a sudden, if your Facebook gets compromised, well, if that same login is for your bank, they may also be able to get into your banking information and these other accounts that share a password. So use a unique password if possible, and a strong password. Avoid using birth dates and family members' names, like someone that wouldn't take that hard to figure out. If someone knows you and knows a couple of your personal, it's not that hard on the internet to figure out, Jane's husband's names and my wife's name, and I can start using that as a password. That's too easy to guess. They say to use...
way to go. Now I have to change my password.
Exactly.
Hey,
Case in
man.
point.
You ruined it, man.
Yep. So, and then they even recommend using short pass-phrases instead of just a single word, like, computer 123. Use I like cereal, 100. Use a short phrase with a couple different words combined. That makes it a lot harder for people to kind of get into your stuff.
Or change the E to a 3.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
another one.
Misspell it. That's another good one. Misspelling words is great, because even if they know the word, they're not going to know how you misspelt it. Just remember, use a if you have a hard time keeping track and remembering all your passwords. That's usually the biggest problem. Well, I want to make it all the same because I can't remember 100 passwords. I mean, no one's going to remember them all.
Can't you put all your passwords out in the cloud so that you can retrieve them, or is that something that can be hacked?
It depends on where you put them. Like Bo mentioned, a lot of people will use just the notes program on their phone. But
I'm talking about like a Dropbox or
correct.
something like that.
I mean, it depends. Some of them are far more secure than others. Now, there are entire companies dedicated to storing and securely securing your passwords. I would recommend one of those. Password Genie is one that Vibrant can offer to our subscribers. There's, I think, LastPass is a popular one. There's several companies now that is a separate program. They store all your data, and they have a super secure way where you can access that if you need it, but it's extremely locked down. Just putting it on Dropbox, or just putting it on on a generic cloud service, those may be compromised. Some of these dedicated password stores are more secure than those. So be aware of that. And then another big thing that it seems to annoy people on the front end, but it's extremely important, is when possible, use two-factor authentication or two-step authentication, whatever you want to call it. It's basically where, and we've seen this, I know a lot of banking institutions are doing this, and companies are implementing this, where if you try to log in, you put in your password, then it's going to send you a one-time code maybe to your phone or a text message that you have to verify a second way that you're trying to log in. And people find it annoying. Oh, I log in my bank, I put in my password, why do they have to send me a text and I have to put this code in? Well, the people that find it the most annoying are the hackers, the people trying to get into your account, because it's extremely difficult unless they have your phone to not only figure out your password, which is hard, but then also be able to get this code that they send you, a one-time token or a one-time passcode. So it makes it so much more secure. I know our IT guy in our office, he's trying to get everything on two-step because it makes a massive difference. It is annoying, but the security is worth it. It's like having a second lock on your door. If it's something you really want to protect, it's worth investing in.
The deadbolt.
Exactly.
There you go.
It's so annoying. Yeah, you have to do one more unlock, but it makes a big difference.
Yes. The other thing is keep your software updated. So if you have a smart TV and you have a Roku or Fire Stick, those are really important to continue to update because it does keep it safe. And in the event that you have an older product out there, go ahead and get a new one and update it just to make sure that you remain safe in that area. I'm trying to think of what other things that would be keep your software updated. So
computers or cell phones.
Well,
But your phone is always asking
Yep.
you to do the update.
And then the watch too. We always get those updates
Smartwatch.
and everything. So it's really important. And your computer, we always get updates on the computer. So it's really important to just allow those to happen. So that way you're the latest and greatest technology.
People see their update notification on their phone or computer and they think, well, it's new features. I don't need that stuff. I don't need that. The number one reason you get an update is security patches and things that the company has identified are maybe a problem. So they're pushing out this update to protect you. So don't put those off.
Right. And this is something that we're going to talk about tonight, but be really cautious of emails and links. We really recommend not clicking on a link. We recommend just going into a new browser and typing that information instead of clicking on a link because you really don't know if
So my
it's...
kids send me these, hey, you should look at this, Dad. And then they send me a link. I shouldn't click on that.
Well, if it's something you're expecting, or they've
okay.
told you, hey, I'm going to send this to you, it's probably safe. But if you get a random one that you weren't expecting,
I
would pick up the phone and call them or verify, hey, did you just send this to me? Because that is a red flag.
I call a lot when I get the instant message stuff because it's like,
okay.
someone has recently died. And I know that that's not really true.
Right.
Or then it's the post office is waiting to give you a delivery, but they need to update your address. Click on this link, that kind of stuff. That's what to kind of pay attention to look over.
Yeah.
And then if you do hover over that link, and if you look below, it'll show you if it's the same, if the message is the same from the link as the bottom of the page, because that's another opportunity to kind of switch password, switch the names around basically.
Sure.
And then using a secure network, and this is something that I don't really think about, but it's something that is out there. So if you're on wireless internet in the public, you've signed into something, you're vulnerable to have your information taken from somebody else. And if you're at the airport, you're at
Using
shop.
their Wi-Fi, you mean?
Yep. Yeah. Anytime that you connect to that, or even if you have your Bluetooth on, it's an opportunity for somebody to go in and take that. So pay really close attention to that. And then, so we're going to cover a lot of that tonight.
Yeah, so Jane mentioned it earlier, but a recap, we're having our cybersecurity event tonight. We focus on teaching people about hackers and scammers and how people misuse AI and how to stay safe. So today's, this radio show is a little preview, but we go into a lot more detail, more examples, answer questions that people have, and that's going to be tonight at 5:30 at the co-op office on Highway 12. I heard there's going to be cookies.
Definitely cookies.
And non-alcoholic drinks. It's not BYOB or anything, but bring, come and grab a soda or a water. But no, come on out. You get to ask questions. You get to learn about stuff. Unfortunately, everybody will deal with this in today's world. You could be a very light technology user or a really heavy user. If you live in today's world, you're going to come across this stuff. There's really no way to completely avoid it. So come on out, learn about how to stay safe, and we will. It's a free event, open to the public. You don't have to have vibrant internet. You don't have to be a Meeker Co-op member. It's a free class.
Yep.
Cool enough.
Yeah.
All right.
And if you're not able to come out to the class, this is something we post on our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. So if you know someone that would find this helpful, you can go on the Facebook page, YouTube channel, search Vibrant Broadband, and then also you can listen live here every Wednesday, 10:30 at KLFD. And if you have questions, you can just call us. We're happy to answer any questions about cybersecurity, about really anything internet related. Our number is 320-693-3231, or you can go to the website, vibrantbroadband.com. So thank you so much, Woody, for having us. Hopefully we'll see a bunch of you tonight at the class, and we look forward to answering any questions that you might have. So my name is Bo.
I'm Jane.
And I'm Nathan.
And tune in next week for another Vibrant U Live.
Beautiful.
Thank
you
you, sir.
guys are just naturals at this. Good work.
Brilliant speed with vibrant service. Vibrant broadband internet. Vibrant broadband internet.